First of all, Happy New Year to you all. Yeah, although it's already half a month. Huh? So, after this 1 week of closure of the center, we are back, and everything is still very cold. After I announced that center will be closed, I also decided not to go on to the social media and stay myself. And in the meantime, in terms of the food, I ate only 4 pieces of bread and then 3 eggs every day. So that one meal. And then after a week later, so we went to London. On a Saturday morning, there was a rice soup. And when I ate that rice soup, it was so delicious. It was so delicious. And then, but when I was eating bread and eggs, I didn't have any that feelings at all. It was just, okay, now about 9 o'clock, so it's time to eat. And then I just made a bread and then boiled the egg and ate it. So there wasn't any feelings of anything you want to eat. But that rice soup was so delicious. It was like my tongue was having a wonderful meal after a long, long time. So then when I was eating that the rice soup, and the feeling was coming, and I was smiling to myself that when did I got this appetite or appreciation of the food that I want to eat? Because normally I do not select the foods. As long as there is something to eat, that's it, finish. I do not care much. But this time it was like, it's like over the moon, so delicious. So I was reflecting, when did I develop that sense of wanting to eat rice? I even had this thought of, am I being Asian? That from the very child age you've been eating rice all the time. And then in the meantime I also had this, the thought came into my mind that normally Asian people will say, if I don't eat rice, I do not feel that I have eaten something. So that is the expression. It's like when you are in Thailand, Western monks normally, will be very excited when they see a pizza. It's like after being in a temple in Thailand for many days, and then suddenly if there is a pizza, then oh wow. Gavin, did you feel like that?
Yeah, but we didn't have one.
So, like that, and so with that, I also was contemplating that how easily we develop certain perceptions despite we are knowing it. And we have developed this identity that, oh, I have been doing this, so this is me. This is I am. And then if I don't do it, then I am not, or I am lacking something. So that's sort of the perception and identity that develops without we knowing. So maybe that is the reason why the Buddha always encourages us to associate with the wise ones, associate with the good people, because without knowing we may pick up something unwholesome, without knowing pick up those bad behaviors, and then we carry on doing it without knowing that this is harmful. So this is quite interesting to observe, and then we got to be very mindful that who are we associating with and how we are dealing with that. Like there is one gentleman who used to meditate and who comes to meditate for some times, and he developed quite well in meditation, and from kind of a homeless, so he lost the job, redundant, lost the job, and he had nowhere to stay, so he was staying in a hotel. And then came to meditate, and after meditation, gradually he gained the mindfulness of his own self, and then gradually, with the guidance, he began to contact the councils and the job seekers allowance and those things. And then, because of his background was so good, within I think 3 months or 4 months' time, he got the house to stay, a beautiful house. I mean, a flat, not a house itself, but a flat, ground floor flat, and everything is well decorated, perfectly fine. And then after he got that, he also got a job as well, a part-time job. When he was having this part-time job, he was still meditating. And then he went to Thailand, and when he came back from Thailand, he somehow picked up this old habit of drinking alcohol. So he began to drink alcohol, and slowly he didn't come to meditation, and somehow after a couple of days later, maybe I think 2 weeks later, he came to see me, and I spoke with him, and then he said, oh, I'm still meditating, and in the meantime I'm helping a guy who is addicted and going through a very difficult time, right? And then I asked him that how he's doing it, and he said, oh, I'm associating with him, so I'm drinking with him, so I can help him. I can, help him out from that drink, bringing him to the meditation. So then I told him, oh, that's a good intention, but that's not a good place to teach. But he was like, no, I can help. I know I'm meditating, so I know where I am, so I'm very advanced in meditation now. So then, after a couple of months later, he was not fit to work anymore because of this sober. He could not attend for a couple of days. And then later on, this company say, I don't need you anymore. And then after that, he went on to drink. So now, rather than he is bringing his friend to the meditation, his friend dragged him in there, into that, what's the word would be a good one for that? Anyway, so back to the old habits. And with that, so he lost the job, and later on he got the other physical diseases came and become ill. So like that. So that's why, maybe that's the reason why the Buddha always taught us to associate with the good people. And with that, whenever we realize that it's not in line with the practice, in line with the good, the noble, wholesome actions, then try to come out as soon as possible. Otherwise, we will just pick it up without knowing it, and then by the time we realize, it becomes a norm for us, and that norm will take us into the unsuccessful life, maybe. Yeah? So that's why the mindfulness is so important to reflect on that, whatever we are doing and whoever we are associating with. And then with that, before it develops into the perceptions and identities, we got to take it that time and then stop it now and then, that very moment, and change our way of life. So with that, we will find our good path, which will bring happiness in our life. Yeah? So I offer this as a reflection for tonight to practice meditation. So let's practice meditation. So this is the moment of meditation. So sitting in a comfortable position, or relax yourself, leave all your responsibilities aside, and just observing your sitting body. And noticing bodily sensations, so as we observe the bodily sensations, then we realize that the breath comes in and goes out. That would be the most prominent cause of bodily sensations to arise. And wherever we feel the breath, mindfully observing it, and the observation of that breath on a particular part of the body and observing are two different things. Feeling of the breath in our body is one thing, and knowing is another. So knowing initially is like we are knowing this. So there, I am knowing the breath coming in and going out. And with that breath coming in and going out, there is a rising and falling of abdomen. So rising and falling of abdomen is the object that I am observing. There is a consciousness of observation. So this moment only noticing that the rising and falling of abdomen is one thing, and consciously aware of that is another. So there is no concept of I am watching the breath, nor I am watching the rising and falling of the abdomen. It's just a process that is taking place and I am observing it. At this moment, when you're observing this rising and falling of abdomen, between the process of a rise and a fall and recognition of it, are you recognizing it before or because of the process you become alert of it? So mindfully checking in this way. Now obviously if your mind is still restless and still dealing with the recent activities, in that moment you don't need to rush to observe these things. Just observe the breath wherever you feel and just try to make the mind calm and peace. Once your mind is calm and at peace, and you're alert at that moment, then slowly observe the object and observing it. So basically 3 tasks are there. One task is if your mind is still restless, spend time to observe the breath and calm it down. The second is ability to distinguish between the object that you're observing and being conscious of that observation. And then the third is, are you conscious of the object because the object is moving or because the object is the cause to be aware of it, or you are aware of it itself? So in this way, continue practicing until you hear the call.